Hello everybody, this is Sci-Fi Junk yet again on this lovely, wonderful Tuesday afternoon, morning-ish. I thought I'd make a video today. As you guys very well know, I don't make videos like this very often. I normally just stream me playing games when I actually have internet to do that. But today, I thought I'd make a video before streaming, so stream might be a little late today. Anyway, as you guys very well know, I live in low-income housing, and I am not too thrilled about it. It gives us it gives me and my mother a place to live. Provided we not have anything in the house, otherwise we don't pass inspection seams. As you guys very well may or may not know, HUD decides to come in and tell you how good your housekeeping is, no matter what you've done to it, and if they find even the most minute problem with it, they tell you you suck, and then you fail inspection. And then doesn't tell you how to improve the inspection, because I've repeatedly asked, and they repeatedly just said, oh, well, just clean it up. Like I haven't done that. The floor happens to not mop itself, I guess. Dishes don't happen to get done. Clothes don't happen to get done. Toilet doesn't happen to get cleaned. And I could list off all the stuff that I've done to this unit and still it not pass their lovely inspection. Oh, excuse me. Now granted, I'm not saying don't live in HUD housing. I'm not saying live in HUD housing either. What I will be saying is unless you have nothing in the unit, I mean, you sleep on the floor and stuff like that, then you're fine and dandy because you'll pass inspection with no problem. But the minute you bring couches, beds, TVs, has internet, bring in a computer, clothes, then you're not going to pass inspection unless you are somebody that's that's from the Air Force, Navy, Marines, and you guys know how clean you guys keep your house, because you never know when you're going to be deployed in one form or another. Unless you're that kind of person, then you're all fine and dandy. You can make it too. But for all of us other everyday people that try to keep our house clean, and no matter what we do, matter of fact, this go around, I even took the oven apart and used vinegar because I didn't realize how greasy the oven was, and yeah, I am shamefully going to say that it was pretty bad, and I attempted to use vinegar because that's the only cleaner we had. And yet we still get told that we failed housekeeping, and that's it. Not being told how we could pass the next inspection, what the potential problem is, and mind you, we keep on getting told every time there's an inspector in here that they're not here for the housekeeping, but yet, what's the deal? Matter of fact, I can honestly say that the only times we've passed the housekeeping part of the inspection is when the inspectors literally did not give a shit about the housekeeping. Because I'm guessing those particular ones actually saw everything as clutter, which is pretty much what it is clutter. It's not all that bad. But HUD want you to maintain a military housing standards, not residential housing standards, because residential housing standards must not fit in or compute in their lovely little section of what's clean and sanitary. But it has to be like a hospital in here. And luckily, I've convinced my mother that we need to move. Finally, after, I think we've been here for maybe 8, 9, 10 years. I can't remember. I don't remember how long we've been here. But when it comes to, we get told that we don't pass housekeeping, but yet the ED of the housing authority says, oh, well, all I see is problems with the stove. And he was mainly looking at the top of the stove after I worked a number of hours, days. Strike that, yeah, a number of days on the top of the stove. He didn't even bother to look in the stove. He was more concerned with what was on top of the stove. The dirt. And it was mainly around one burner. Yeah, so, with that being said, I now have to convince my mother that we need to go and find a house, regardless of it being a fixer-upper or not. And I have a feeling that we'll probably get evicted before then because, well, hey, HUD does not like to wait, and the more times you don't pass their military residential inspections, the more that goes against you. Even the fact that the last time we had maintenance done in this lovely unit, that they created, the housing authority I live in created an ant problem that wasn't there before, but yet it's our problem. It's the tenant's problem. It's not the housing authority's problem. It's the tenant's problem. It's beginning to be more and more like the tenant's problem to solve problems in this unit than it is the housing authority's office. I mean, if you could, let's see if I could, let's see. I don't know if you can see it, but if you see up there, those are nails coming out of the freaking ceiling. Our problem. Not HUD's problem, not the housing authority's problem, our problem. Just like the lovely baseboards in the kitchen on this wall, on this the kitchen side of this wall. Baseboards are separating. That's our problem. Not the housing authority problem, not the HUD problem, but our problem. Matter of fact, like I said, the last time I had maintenance in here, they had to snake a line that apparently collapsed, and we were told that we would have to move stuff out of a certain path so they can take the whole freaking line and be done with it. But when they snaked it and then they put water in it, yeah, that's when we started having the ant problem, because, well, before they left, they ran water, and the other maintenance man, so yeah, I'm not going to name names. Call him maintenance man, EDs, secretary assistant, even though I think, well, actually, administrative assistant. I think that's what she prefers to be called. But anyway, the maintenance man, one was inside the unit, one was outside, and the one that was outside said it looked like gravy, and the water was running slowly at first when they snaked it in. Now, normally you would not have gravy-like water going down a pipe unless something happened to the pipe to make it where dirt and everything was in the way. And then that's when our ant problem decided to show up. Because knowing my luck, and I have pretty crappy luck, and Mom, the very person that I'm a caregiver to, my mother, seems to think that there was an anthill close down to that pipe, and that's where part of our problem is. Because we actually have an ant problem going that way in the unit, or on that side of the unit. And it doesn't look pretty, but that's our problem. Now, I know this is more of a rambling video, as you guys could very well know that all my videos end up being a rambling video, but the point is that I'm trying to make is that HUD sucks balls. Granted, they gave us this lovely unit for us to live in, and apparently they want us out. Matter of fact, they probably wanted us out the first couple months we were in here because we kept on having a crap ton of problems with the housing authority before the executive director, before the one that we have now, decided to give us a crap ton of problems. And the maintenance man, before the one that we have now, decided to give us a crap ton of problems. Now, being a caregiver and a son, I have a number of things I have to take care of. Cleaning this unit apparently is not good enough for them. No matter what I've done. Matter of fact, the inspection before this one, I pretty much put a lot of my caregiver duties on hold to make it through the inspection, and then get told, oh, well, your housekeeping sucks. And I've done a lot of stuff with that inspection. Way more than I've done with any other inspection. So, HUD, if you happen to find this video, you need to do one of two things. You need to, one, make your inspectors not say they're not here for housekeeping, because that does present a false positive on making it through the inspection for housekeeping. Two, actually, you probably need to do a number of things, to be honest. So let's make this number two. You need to recognize the difference between clutter and bad housekeeping. Three, you need to give the tenants the tenant that failed any of the inspections a list of things, and it needs to be a specific thing. So, like, you know, the clutter in the bedroom it needs to go, or something like that. Not just general. The general housekeeping is in poor shape, because that could mean anything. Doesn't help me at all. I mean, especially with the last one when I said I wanted a house, the house inspection sheets, so I could actually know where the problem lies. And that's what you guys told me, that it was a severe housekeeping problem, and that was it. Didn't tell me where the severe housekeeping problem was. I mean, for all I know, it could be the bedrooms that are giving me problems. But you're saying you're counting the whole unit as a housekeeping problem, no matter where the housekeeping problem's at. And I'm sure that the reason why one of the reasons why we failed the housekeeping this time is because the ant problem that the housing authority decided to give us. So, there's three. Let's see. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. And four, quit making it where the tenant feels like they're in a hostile living environment. You're already punishing the housing authority enough as it is by cutting their budget all the time in one form or another. Matter of fact, if it was up to me, things would probably have a lot more problems, but we wouldn't have to deal with HUD. We would actually not deal with HUD. Matter of fact, if I was the ED at this place, first thing that I would do would cut ties with HUD altogether with their funding and make it where we are an actual private housing authority, just so we could stop getting problems with HUD. But being that it's a HUD housing, oh crap, hang on a second. Being the fact that this is somewhat considered HUD housing because they're getting HUD funding, we have to deal with HUD. And it's creating more problems than it needs to. But if we walked away from HUD, then it would actually be more in tune with income-based, payments. Because right now it's not based on income. Because if it was, the rent would actually be way more than it is right now, just based on what my mother makes from Social Security, and they're already taking money back from her divorce settlement. So yeah, it's a long vicious circles. But the point that I'm trying to make is that HUD needs to understand a number of things, and they don't. They're treating this housing authority, or this housing, they're treating their tenants that are in their housing as, in my opinion, like POWs. If they don't keep their house like a hospital, then their housekeeping sucks. And I know for sure that my unit and the other unit are probably the same units that never passed the housekeeping. And we're just now getting really, really pissed about it now. Actually, I'm sure that there are far more units that don't pass the housekeeping thing, but don't get counted against them because of one reason or another. So, sorry this became more of a rambling video again, but I just felt that it was kind of it's starting to get kind of shitty with dealing with HUD. It's like dealing with Social Security and every other thing as a caregiver, and they don't even recognize caregivers. None of them do. So, I do greatly appreciate it if you actually managed to make it through the end of the video. If you didn't, then I'm sorry. But until next time, don't have too much fun.